Today, we are breaking down the incredible high-stakes gamble of Hyundai ADM Bio. This is a story about a radical reinvention. It's a massive pivot from a business that's essentially dying to a complete moonshot in biotech. And it's all fueled by some really groundbreaking science and, well, some immense financial risk.
I mean, that really is the ultimate corporate question, isn't it? And for Hyundai ADM Bio, the answer isn't some small, careful pivot. No, it's a complete, bet the entire company reinvention that could lead to a major, world-changing breakthrough, or a total and complete collapse. So, let's dive in.
So you've got a company right in the middle of this profound identity crisis. They're trying to shift from being the stable, predictable service provider into the super volatile world of high-risk, high-reward biotech.
Yeah, this slide right here really illustrates that fundamental shift perfectly. So the company's old model, they were a clinical research organization, a CRO. Basically, think of them as a contractor that manages clinical trials for other drug companies. It's a low-margin business, but it's steady. The new model, a biotech innovator, burning through cash to develop its own revolutionary drugs. It's like jumping from the slow lane on the highway straight into the high-speed, high-danger fast lane.
And listen, this isn't some diversified bet. We're talking about the company's entire future. Every single dollar, every last hope is riding on one single technological platform. This is the very definition of an all-or-nothing strategy. So, what is this game-changing technology that they're literally betting the farm on? Let's get into the science of it.
It's called penetrinium. At its core, it's a drug delivery system, a DDS, and it's designed to solve this huge problem in medicine. How do you get these incredibly powerful but hard-to-dissolve drugs into the human body where they can actually do their job, especially when you're trying to target tiny cancer cells?
So how does it actually work? Well, think of it in 3 simple steps. First, penetrinium wraps up or encapsulates an anti-cancer drug called niclosamide. Second, this little package travels through the body to deliver that drug directly to the tumor cells. And finally, and this is the key part, it massively boosts the drug's absorption, which then triggers the cancer cells to self-destruct in a process we call apoptosis.
And they are aiming big with this. They're targeting 2 of the most significant cancers in the world, breast cancer and non-small cell lung cancer. Now, the key advantages here, what makes this so promising, are its high safety profile, which means low toxicity for the patient, and its potential to work together with other treatments like chemotherapy, actually making them more effective.
And look, this isn't just a theory on a whiteboard. They're making real, tangible progress. After they rebranded back in 2024, they hit this absolutely massive milestone in late 2025. They got approval to begin phase 1 clinical trials. That's the very first step in testing a new drug in actual people. So this year, the technology moves from the lab into human validation. It's a huge step. Okay, so the science sounds amazing, right? But behind all of this promising science, the company's financial health, well, it tells a very, very different and, frankly, an alarming story. This table from HDIN Research, it just lays it all out in the open. Revenue from their old legacy business, it's shrinking. Gross margin is completely collapsed to just 0.36%. I mean, they're making practically zero profit. And yeah, while the net loss looks like it improved, that's really misleading. It's only because of a one-time fee in the previous year. And to top it all off, their last attempt at a new venture, this microneedle patch, it failed so badly they had to liquidate the entire subsidiary. Not a good look.
This number right here is critical, a 14% drop year over year in the company's order backlog. Now, this backlog is the future pipeline for their core business, and it is drying up fast, which signals even weaker revenue is on the horizon. And here's their operating cash flow. The company is burning through more than $3 million just to keep the lights on. Their core business isn't even paying for itself anymore. It's a sinking ship that they are desperately trying to escape from.
And this might be the most important number of all. This is their cash runway. Based on the money they have and how fast they're spending it, they have just over a year before the money runs out completely. The clock is ticking, and it is ticking loudly. You know, HDIN Research just perfectly summarizes the whole situation here. The company is caught in this fragile transition, and success is it's far from guaranteed.
So this visual really captures the central conflict, doesn't it? On one side, you have the incredible, world-changing promise of the Panavarium platform. But on the other side, you have the grim reality of a collapsing core business, a sky-high cash burn rate, and a total reliance on its parent company for both the technology and the money to survive.
The analyst does not mince words here. This is, and I quote, a back-to-the-wall situation. It's a fight for corporate survival, plain and simple.
So, what's the final verdict on all this? Where does this leave investors? And what about the company's future?
Well, the analyst highlights 4 massive risks. First, clinical failure. This is the obvious one. If the science doesn't work in human trials, it is game over. Then there's the liquidity crisis breathing down their neck. Third, execution risk. Management's track record on new ventures is, frankly, poor. And finally, their dependency on their parent company means they're not fully in control of their own destiny.
Ultimately, it all just boils down to this. It is a high-speed race between scientific potential and financial reality. The promise of the technology is just undeniable, but the weakness of that balance sheet is every bit as real. And that leaves us with the multi-million-dollar question that is going to define the next 12 months for Hyundai ADM Bio. The answer will determine whether this becomes a story of a brilliant turnaround or a cautionary tale of a company that simply ran out of time.
If you want to dig deeper into the data yourself, you can find the full analyst reports from HDIN Research on their website. Thanks for joining us.